Welcome back. State attorneys generals across the country fighting President Biden's radical agenda. 14 of them are suing the Biden administration over his executive order to halt the XL pipeline, stopping all oil and gas leasing, of which states derive half of that revenue from that drilling on federal land in their states. 13 AGs, including one Democrat, are suing over the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan, which makes it illegal for them to cut taxes after getting stimulus money. And others, led by Texas AG Ken Paxton, are suing the administration over the impact of Biden's open borders on their states. My next guest is the latest, who is also taking issue with Democrats' H.R. 1 voting bill and Biden's new executive orders on gun control. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich joins me now. AG, good morning to you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
What can you do to stop this radical agenda?
Well, I am doing everything I can and using every tool in our toolbox in order to stop it. And so we literally have filed lawsuits, 2 lawsuits against the Biden administration related to immigration. We've offered border tours to both the vice president and to Secretary Becerra. We filed lawsuits related to, as you indicated, the Keystone Pipeline. We filed lawsuits related to Yellen against Secretary Yellen and the inability of states to cut taxes, the cost-benefit rule. So there is a slew and a plethora of lawsuits that have been filed, and me and my colleagues are working now on comments to the proposed rules that the Biden administration is making on guns.
So I mean, the gun executive orders and the gun commentary is just the latest on what many AGs are saying is just breaking the law. President Biden came in and just blew off law that was debated and put into process by Congress. Now, you've invited Javier Becerra down to the border. What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, I think it's important for federal officials to actually come to the states to see and hear and feel what's actually happening on the ground. Don't believe my words. Those are actually very similar words to what Kamala Harris said when she was running about the need to get out. And so I am encouraging, whether it's the Vice President or Secretary Becerra, to come here, talk to the Border Patrol agents, find out what's going on. Your previous guest just noted that when you talk to the agents, as we have, they will tell you that this is the worst they've seen in 2 decades. Talk to the local sheriffs, and they will tell you how the system is being overwhelmed and how the cartels are using this crisis in order to smuggle drugs into our country and make unbelievable profits, which we will pay for generations. And so the Biden administration, I think, has a fundamental misunderstanding of what the role of the federal government is. And so whether it's the new rules regarding the inability of states to cut taxes, whether it's trying to stop pipelines, whether it's increasing by decriminalizing, incentivizing immigration, they are radically changing this country and shifting power from the states to the federal government because they know that when people become dependent on the federal government, that they can control them.
I'd love to understand better, our audience needs to understand better the process with which the AGs are moving forward and how you can be successful in stopping this radical agenda. You just mentioned drugs at the border. A final question on this issue, because we know that the head of the border is now resigning. Roberta Jacobson, resigned from the crisis that she initially denied. These pictures from Representative Jim Jordan show what we think are drugs on the floor, meth and cocaine in plastic bags on the floor at the border. How do you feel that these lawsuits can actually move forward, and what is the process for you to stop this agenda?
So, for example, two of our lawsuits that we're leading on, one is we want the Biden administration to reinstitute deportations because by pausing those deportations of 1.2 million individuals here, they have incentivized and essentially decriminalized. Additionally, we also sued the administration over their rescinding of the public charge rules. So the Biden administration is literally now giving medical benefits, housing benefits, and other benefits that our public tax dollars are paying for to people that broke the law coming into this country. So regardless of what you think about the issue, I think it's fundamentally unfair for someone that came in here that broke the law to be able to get all these government benefits. I mean, my goodness, Maria, we have homeless vets in this country, and yet the Biden administration wants to spend hundreds of dollars per migrant family to house them in hotels and other buildings in our country. And then at the same time, as you alluded, yeah, well, at the same time, look, the Border Patrol will tell you, as these waves of migrants come over, Border Patrol has to take them, arrest them, and then process them. And then while they're doing that, the drug cartels are literally driving trucks across the border with drugs. So this is not staying in Arizona. This is going to affect our entire country for generations to come.
And real quick, before we go, talk to me about taxes, because you're also suing over the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, which says to you, if you get any money, you can't cut taxes?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Think about this, Maria. We begged the federal government for $1,400 stimulus checks. That's our money, our hard-earned tax dollars, and yet the states can't cut taxes by a similar amount. Why is that? I would submit to you that's because this is about the centralization of power in Washington, D.C. We're going to do everything we can on our side to fight it, to make sure that we respect federalism, that the federal government doesn't commandeer the states, and that we uphold the 10th Amendment.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're trying to do with H.R. 1 as well. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich, thanks very much for your efforts. Great to have you this morning.